hydrogen Hyundais, supercar slang Corvettes, and maybe even a new GTR? The future is coming at us fast, folks, and before you know it, we're gonna have a whole new generation of exciting cars from all your favorite brands, which is why today, we're digging into the cars we think you should be the most excited about in the coming months and years. Let's go. Hyundai has been killing it recently. They put a shot of excitement all across their lineup with cars like the Ioniq 5N and the Veloster N. But ever since the Envision 74 concept came out, a lot of people, me included, fell in love. And now, rumor has it that Hyundai is considering a production version. First things first, this is powered by a hybrid hydrogen powertrain, something that has never been put into a major production performance vehicle. That, coupled with its cyberpunk DeLorean-esque styling, makes it easily one of the most interesting cars we've seen in the last decade. Hyundai is looking both forward and back on their history with the Envision by using design characteristics from the early 70s pony coupe concept and hydrogen tech from the 2015 Hyundai race car concept called the Envision Gran Turismo. Its claimed 600-kilometer range could be a killer in the current market, not that it has a lot of competition. Now, I'm not gonna hold my breath this thing makes it to production with a hydrogen drivetrain. There's just too many infrastructure obstacles to get around, but there's a real chance this car sees the light of day as a gasoline hybrid or an EV. The US hates wagons. At least, most of it does. What's wrong with you guys? Wagons are awesome. But BMW is aiming to change that with the M5 Touring, and it's about damn time. This new M5 is a 700 horsepower long roof, and BMW is claiming 0 to 60 times in around 3.4 seconds. And it's exciting because the typical big and tall SUV market needs an alternative. And what better way to do that than with a hot BMW wagon? Can you tell I'm excited yet? I mean, I'm an M5 guy. I've got an E39. It'll be powered by a 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 coupled with a hybrid powertrain, and will cost around $140,000 and probably even more for the presumed competition spec that will follow later. That's definitely a pretty penny for a station wagon that weighs more than a Chevy Tahoe. But the kind of performance that this thing is advertising will probably justify it. I mean, the M Division kinda knows what they're doing, right? Right? We don't have a specific date yet, but this is going to be a 2025 model year vehicle, meaning it could launch anytime now. If you've heard of the Lucid Air, you'll definitely sit up when you hear about their upcoming SUV, the Lucid Gravity. Lucid has kinda been the hair in Tesla's throat with their uber impressive combination of driving dynamics, range, and sheer power with the Air. And the Gravity, which is set for a 2025 launch, will take it all to a completely new audience. We're talking 3 rows, over 800 horsepower, and a 0 to 60 time of under 3.5 seconds according to Lucid. Now, it's not going to be cheap, as estimates have put it at the $80,000 mark at least, but if you were considering an upper trim Model X, this might be the more quality choice. When Dodge announced that the Charger was dying as we know it and the Challenger was just straight up dead, we all shed a particularly sad tear. And when the V8s for passenger cars were killed off as well, I mean, that just twisted the knife that much deeper. However, don't get too upset, because here you go, folks, the new 2025 Dodge Charger. It's certainly got, well, we'll call it controversial styling, but we think it's pretty hot. The main story with this bad boy is the powertrain. The V8s are gone, and in their place will be the new twin-turbo Hurricane inline 6 or a fully electric battery setup. The Hurricane packs a punch, making anywhere from 420 to 550 horsepower, while the top-trim Daytona EV makes 670. And knowing Dodge, there will eventually be like a 5 million freaking horsepower demon version that's faster than everything else. Anyways, keep your eyes peeled, and let's not judge this thing too harshly without giving it a fair chance, okay? Any video like this wouldn't be worthy without mentioning the almighty Godzilla. That's right, folks, the R35 Nissan GTR is officially on its way out, and its replacement is reportedly already in the works. The best sources indicate that the R36 will have some form of hybridization, a drastically reworked chassis, and completely fresh bodywork, and it'll cost somewhere between $115,000 and $215,000. And while the R35 that we've had for over 15 years is an amazing performer, it has become pretty outdated and has lost some of that magic we felt when it first arrived in the late 2000s. So as for the new one, we hope it's everything the R35 was and much, much more. But it's looking like we're gonna have to wait until at least 2028 for the newest Godzilla to arrive. Forget speculation. Let's look at a car we know really well by now. The brand new 2025 C8 Corvette ZR1. The ZR1 moniker is one that deserves a bust in the figurative automotive Hall of Fame because these things are always insane. The C4, the C6, and the C7 were all incredible cars with performance ahead of their time. And the C8, well, it's set to be no different. But also very different if you know what I mean. This one will have an updated variant of the Z06's 5.5-liter flat plane crank V8 with 2 turbos, a lot of revs, and 1,064 horsepower. Yeah, you heard me right. It's also got 1,200 pounds of downforce from all that delicious aero, track-tuned magnetic ride suspension, and an optional ZTK performance package that turns all that up even more. Press cars of the new ZR1 just recently started making the rounds, so we're not sure exactly how it'll perform on the road. But one thing is for sure, this will be the new face of supercar slayers. But if there's one car that can make 1,000 horsepower look like child's play, it's the new Bugatti Tourbillon. This thing has 1,800, yes, 1,800 horsepower from the V16 hybrid powertrain in this absolute bruiser of a supercar. Bugatti claims that the Tourbillon can hit 445 kilometers an hour or 276 miles an hour. That's ridiculous and pointless, but freaking awesome nonetheless. You know what else is awesome? The steering wheel. It's a masterpiece. The Swiss watch-looking instrument cluster is beautiful on its own, but the coolest part is that it's on a fixed hub, where the steering wheel can move freely around it without moving the cluster itself. It's pretty neat stuff, just as you'd hope, because this beast will cost some insanely rich person a whopping $4 million. And there's only going to be 250 for the whole world, so if you want one, better find that cool $4 million before deliveries start in 2026. Look, none of you will probably own the Tourbillon. I mean, I hope you do, but realistically, it's something like the new Honda Prelude that us normal folk can look forward to 10 more years from now once they're used and depreciated. Ever since the Civic and Accord coupes were discontinued, Honda has needed an entry-level two-door car to fill the void. For 2026, the Prelude is back, baby. It's set to have a hybrid powertrain and only cost a little over 30 grand brand new. That's literally not even 1% of the sticker price on that Bugatti. The new Prelude is probably going to fit right into the GR86 and Miata segments, and if those cars are any indication of the benchmark, then this thing is going to be ridiculous fun. Another car you're definitely going to be hearing about is the upcoming Porsche 718. A few years back, Porsche said that the next-gen 718s will be fully electric by mid-decade, and it seems like they're keeping that promise. Test mules have been spotted blasting around the Nürburgring without so much as uttering a flat 6 peep. But even if you don't like the electrification, you'll probably love how it drives. In the past, the 718 Cayman and Boxster have been the world standard for driving dynamics and handling, and I don't see any reason why the new ones will be any different. Porsche has said that 2025 will be their debut year, but an exact production date is not yet available. Either way, the future is looking really good for everyone, car enthusiast or not. Okay, did you know that VW bought the rights to the International Harvester brand? I feel like people don't talk about this enough. Why aren't we talking about this? International Harvester is an iconic American name that used to be a go-to for farming and people who needed a get-the-job-done type of truck. And yes, the new one will be an EV, which might hurt its charm a bit, but something is better than nothing, right? And seeing what a properly modern EV Scout looks like is something I sure as hell don't want to miss. VW says an SUV and truck model will come out sometime in 2026, and it'll be called, well, here's the thing. They trademarked like 50 names for this truck, so they can pick whichever one they want. Guess we'll just have to wait and see. Which one of these cars are you most excited for? Is it the distant dream of an R36 GTR, or are you trying to hop yourself into a new Charger in less than a year? Let us know down below, and tell us what other cars we missed. My name's Trav, thanks for watching. If you like new cars, go check out which cars have the biggest discounts right now. And if you don't like new cars, then take a look at the top 10 depreciated exotics right down here. I'll see you all next time.